He says, thus when you do a kind deed, do not sound a trumpet before you as the hypocrites do in the congregations in the streets, to be praised by men. Truly I say to you that they have their reward. But when you do a kind deed, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your kind deed shall be in secret, and your Father who sees in secret shall himself reward you openly. And when you pray, before we get to the prayer one, so understand, look, it's not that you have to be obsessively meticulous about making sure that anything you do, nobody ever knows about it. It's okay that people can know that you're helping them. So if I help you, it's okay that you know that I helped you. What's not okay is that I want to make sure that everybody around knows that I helped you. You see the difference? Now, a lot of you I know would like to help people, so you'll contact me and you'll want to make a donation or help somebody and have it be indirect. And that's great. That's what he is talking about for sure. But also know that there's nothing wrong with your doing it for somebody. If someone needs help, you say, sure, I can help you, and you do it in a direct way. But don't do it because you're looking for them to tell you how great you are. You're not trying to wow and impress them and be told what an awesome, wonderful person you are. You're doing it just because you want to help them. And when they say thank you, say, I appreciate that, but I just wanted to help you, okay? But when you want to make sure there's an audience and you want to make sure other people know about it, that's when we're trying to be seen by men. We're trying to impress men. There's a huge, huge issue that is addressed by Yeshua on a regular enough basis about who we're trying to impress, who we're trying to please. And by the way, this was a problem way before Yeshua came in the flesh suit. We see this all the way going back. Who are we trying to impress? And wow. He says, look, don't do these things to be praised by men. Again, that doesn't mean that you cannot come up to somebody when you hear they have a need and say, here, let me help you. I'd love to help you. Can I help you? So that you're like, oh no, now they know I helped him. That's not a problem. But also if somebody helps you and you go and tell other people because you're excited about it, you're not hurting the situation either. It's okay if that happens. They may want their own privacy about it, so don't just go ahead and share everything that happens. But realize, as long as that's not what you were seeking and somebody decided to say how much they really appreciated you and you get some praise about it, that is praising you for being Yeshua-like, and it still praises your Father. But if you are going to praise somebody, praise the fact that you noticed a Yeshua-like moment with them. They took care of you. They saw you were hungry or thirsty and they helped you, But just be careful about sharing that with others because, they didn't necessarily do it so that others would know. They did it because they wanted to help you. Of course, you don't have to then help somebody and tell them, now don't tell anybody about it. Just help people. If you hear about something and you're not right there, but you heard about it and you want to help, come to the leadership. Leadership will help you with two things. One is to be anonymous if you want to. The other is maybe let you know that it's something you shouldn't be involved in. There are people out there that are just black hole sponges for benevolence. And you won't know that. The ministry probably would. Okay? So, just say, hey, listen, I heard there was a situation, didn't know if it was being handled or not. I'd like to help if it's helpful for me to do that. I'm available to help. And then let the leadership tell you whether or not that's appropriate or how it should be done. Okay? I'm not picking on those of you, but if you own that shirt, own it. If you're one of those black hole sponges, stop. Okay? Stop being that where you go from ministry to ministry and basically expect everybody to take care of you. Look for help in figuring out how to take care of yourself. That doesn't mean that we can't help you from time to time, but the effort should be that you're learning to figure out how to take care of yourself. And better than that, get yourself stable enough so that you can then bless others. So that you're not just always on the receiving end. Always being on the receiving end undermines your ability to feel fully what you're supposed to be as a human being. It eats away at your self-worth. And so just understand that you should be making the effort. Now, don't let it eat at your self-worth if you find yourself in a terrible position. But if you're not making any effort to get out of the terrible position, then you should let it eat away at your self-worth because you deserve that. You need to be making the effort by seeking counsel and whatever you need to do to find a way out of that place where you can be much more self-sustaining. Now, the poor will always be with us so that we will learn to be compassionate and take care of the poor. But remember, the poor in Israel were expected to go to the fields and glean from the corners. We didn't show up and hand it to them at their house and knock on their door and deliver them the wheat. They were expected to get up and go to the corners of the fields and glean. Okay, so let's just kind of keep that in mind. So, the key here in chapter 6 is now comparing chapter 5. Be careful what you do as to be seen by men.